Well, hey guys, it is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur, streaming to you live from Montclair State University. Great to be with everyone. If you are new here, well, welcome to Inspirations for Your Life. I'm so glad that you decided to join me. And if you're coming back, well, it's always great to have my old friends coming back to join me to catch up on some new knowledge. All right, guys, our master topic for the week, as you know, is how connection, purpose, and peace transform our world. We are in a great subtopic here for today, and that's the importance of human connection. Series 4, Show 24, Episode 3. Hey, by the way, whether you're at a university like I am, or you're home and maybe you're a little bit hungry or thirsty, head on out to the kitchen and get something scrumptious, delicious, warm, hot, cold, healthy, sweet, tart, or not, and come on back, all right? Don't forget to check out believemeachieve.com for, of course, more of my amazing, inspiring creations. So without any further ado, I'm going to kick this show off. Okay. Well, welcome everyone to another heart-expanding episode of the Inspirations for Your Life podcast. I am your host, John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, engineer, passionate communicator, podcast coach as well, video producer, and much more. Today, I'm diving into something fundamental, something remarkably deep, a human connection. In a world increasingly filled with noise, distraction, and unfortunately division, the ability to truly connect with others isn't just a nice-to-have thing. It's essential to our well-being, our growth, and our society. In this episode, I'm going to explore the transformative power of connection, not just a social skill, but as a force that can shape everything from mental health to innovation all around you. So get ready, everyone. Yes, get ready to discover why connection matters now more than ever and how you can cultivate it intentionally in everyday life. Let's begin. Sit back and enjoy that beverage or that snack, and let's get into some great action here with good content. Well, number one is human beings are wired. Yes, no pun intended. We have a lot of wires around here. I'm not sure if you guys saw. Lots of wires here, actually. No pun intended. Yeah, some more wires here. See, more wires. There are wires here for a TV that I'm in a room here. So yes, human beings, as I was saying, are wired for connection. We are biologically and emotionally designed to connect. From the moment we're born, our survival depends on bonding with others. It's not just psychological, it's neurological. Studies in neuroscience show that the same brain centers involved in physical pain are activated when we experience social rejection. Connection isn't a luxury, folks. It's a hardwired human need. Without it, we wither. With it, we thrive. So sometimes maybe you're feeling sad and you're wondering what's going on. You say, gee, I don't need people. Well, you might be saying to yourself that you don't need people, but I have to be truthful to you. You actually need people. We all need connection. We all need, the personalities in our lives. And I think as we understand the importance of humans, which is what this show is about, and the connection, we can really start to appreciate, okay, how our brain operates and how we want to do things to avoid pain and gain pleasure. Hopefully, more to gain pleasure. And I think when you realize that, as I said, connection isn't a luxury, it's a hardwired thing that humans need every day. All right, guys. Number 2, connection. It boosts emotional and physical well-being. Connection doesn't just make us feel better emotionally. It is literally something that makes us healthier. Strong social ties have been linked to lower blood pressure, reduced inflammation, better immune responses, and longer life expectancy. Emotionally connected people experience less anxiety and depression. That hug from a friend or the meaningful talk with a loved one. It's medicine, real healing medicine, not the kind you get with a prescription, even better. Because when our endorphins fire, we appreciate that. And it causes us to be, in a very unique way, in alignment with the universe. And I think that's something that a lot of people actually miss is that when we are at the level in alignment with something that actually attracts into our life. I think that's really, really important. Number 3, social bonds reduce loneliness and isolation. That's true, guys. In today's hyper-connected digital age, loneliness remains one of the most silent epidemics. But social bonds, deep, meaningful ones, are the antidote for that. And they give us a sense of belonging and remind us that we are not alone in this vast world. When we nurture our bonds, we help heal the invisible wounds of isolation in both ourselves and others. But I think some people don't realize it. They don't realize how much power that we have because our thoughts create things. Our thoughts bring things into reality. Whether we want them in reality or not, they get into our reality because of what? Because of how we're connecting, how we're aligning. Number 4, guys, meaningful relationships build trust and safety. It's not about how many friends you have. It's about the quality of those people and the relationships that are in your life. Trust doesn't form overnight. It's built through vulnerability, consistency, and care. Meaningful connections create psychological safety, which in turn gives us the courage to be ourselves, speak our truth, and grow into our fullest potential. But many people just think, well, if I can't get that friend in 5 seconds or I can't get that friend overnight, then I don't want that friend. Well, guys, that's the wrong kind of friend. You want somebody who's going to be around you through thick and thin. Right? We've also heard the term many times that, you can always tell you're good friends, right? Because your good friends will be around when you're in trouble, when you have challenges, not just when things are peachy keen and everything is going well. A friend's there to help you through it, right? Because he or she knows that you'd be there for them as well. I think that's a very important thing. Number 5, guys, technology's role in enhancing or hindering our connections. Technology is a double-edged sword, right? It's the power to unite across distances, like Zoom and let's say you've got a lot of them, like even Teams and there are many others. I think there's Jeans, FaceTime calls, and many online communities, but it can also create a false sense of closeness. Passive scrolling and superficial engagement, like when you're on the phone and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't get the like, I didn't get that like, I didn't get the like. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? 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 I didn't get that like, right? And you're feeling so bad because you didn't get it. Passive scrolling, as I said, and the superficial engagement, it often replaces the deep, meaningful conversations that we need in our lives. The personal touch, right? The personal connection. It's up to us to use tech intentionally, not habitually. What does it mean in English? So technology, guys, is not good. Technology is not bad. I said this before. Weapons are not good. Weapons are not bad. But what they are is a tool. And how we choose to use them, folks, that's what makes the miracle of life. That's what makes us become a great version of ourselves. But too many people get discouraged because it's not happening on their time. They want it now, but because it didn't happen, well, then I don't ever want it to happen. And that's just people getting impatient. And that can happen for a lot of reasons. But the question you might be asking, John, is why are people so impatient? I think it's because they want something to happen, but then for whatever reason, they just don't really do what's needed. Does that make sense? And so when we approach things with true thought, with true meaning, other people can tell that we've approached it in that kind of a manner. Now, I know that sounds kind of wacky, but that's the truth, folks. People can see us like looking through a window. I was at an event this past weekend, and not to place any judgment on anybody, but I could just tell from the vibe in the room that people were superficial. I could tell that they were not looking to get into a connection. They were not looking to build friendships. And when one person shared their, let's say, skills or their great traits, other people kind of were like shutting down. They weren't paying attention to it. I think that's a problem. I know myself when I was sharing something that I was proud of, not boasting, but just sharing it. There was one person in the room that told me I talked too much and I hadn't said much at all. And then I learned something. I learned why he said that. He said that because that was him basically trying to satisfy his feeling of being, let's say, not enough. He told me that he quit his job and that now he's doing something else part time, but then he does something else because he wasn't ready to retire. So, in one sense, he was jealous for what I was doing. I wasn't boasting, I was just being proud of what I did. And because it made him feel, let's say, less of or not enough, he decided to challenge that by saying, hey, John, you talk so much, but I'm going to get a word in here too. And he said two sentences and then he walked away. People like that are trying to prove something, not to you and I, but to themselves. I feel bad for those people. Number 6, active listening as a key to deeper connection. Real connection, folks, starts when we truly listen, not to respond, but to understand. Active listening means being fully present, putting away distractions, giving someone your undivided attention. Like having your iPhone and making sure that your iPhone is on D&D when you're out somewhere, right? So you're not disturbing the person you're with. That's important. Being fully present, right? It's a powerful act of love and respect, whether it's a platonic or non-platonic connection that you're having. And it communicates, you matter to me. I hear you right now. And this phone, well, I can always, check that phone later, my social media, whatever. You're important right now. You're here. You're important. You matter. I hear you. This alone, folks, can build amazing, powerful bridges across emotional distances. Because a lot of people in this world say they care, but then they're on their phone like this. Like, oh yeah, I think you're great. Yeah, you're really good at what you're doing. I mean, this is terrible. That's nonsense. That's nonsense. Number 7, vulnerability strengthens connection. All right. So again, whether it's platonic or non-platonic, let's get real for a moment, people. The deepest connections are born in the moments we let our guard down. Vulnerability invites authenticity, and authenticity breeds trust. When we stop trying to be perfect and start being real, who we are at our true core, we allow others to do the same. That shared space of openness becomes, well, a fertile ground for a lasting connection. And you're not doing it with any kind of agenda. You're doing it because that's the core you. So many people I know do it because they're looking to get something. Number 8, connection fosters collaboration and innovation. That's powerful. Connection isn't just emotional, folks. It's strategic. In workplaces and creative environments, strong interpersonal bonds spark better collaboration, faster problem solving, and richer innovation. When people feel connected, they communicate more effectively, take more creative risks, and elevate group outcomes far beyond what any one person could ever do alone. And I think that's something that many people don't want to realize is that we're great alone, but when we're in a team, we're even more powerful, more creative. Number 9, disconnections. Used to say the phrase, disconnections are us. Right? Disconnections impact us on a mental health level. When we disconnect, whether by choice or by some circumstances around us, our mental health suffers immediately. Prolonged isolation can lead to depression, anxiety, a diminished sense of self-worth, and if it gets very bad, even suicide. Disconnection doesn't just hurt emotionally, it deteriorates our ability to feel motivated from within inside, focused and hopeful. And when we lose hope, it's like, why even bother, right? Why even bother? That's important. Recognizing the signs and rebuilding connection can be the lifeline to getting you back on track and maybe even saving someone or your life. Number 10, building intentional connections in daily life. Intentional connection is about making the effort, reaching out, checking in, making eye contact, remembering a name, sending a voice note instead of a like. These small choices compound over time and create a meaningful network of support and care. Make connection a daily ritual, not an afterthought. Why do you want to connect with somebody? Because you just want to build a friendship. Is there anything wrong with that? So many people I know say they want to build a friendship, but they're out for something. They know you can do something for them. So that's why they want this friendship. That's why they want this connection or this union. They know there's something you have and they want it. And that's terrible. So intentional connection, it's about making the effort first, right? Make the connection a daily ritual, not an afterthought. And when you truly do that from your heart, other people are going to see it and like, wow, this guy's pretty amazing. Number 11, the role of community in personal growth. Communities, whether physical or digital, will shape us daily. They offer support, accountability, and a mirror to our growth. Surrounding yourself with people who inspire, challenge, and uplift helps you to evolve faster and with more joy and passion. A strong community, folks, becomes your ecosystem for thriving. You might say, John, I'm living fine. Yeah, and a lot of people are living just fine. But wouldn't you rather thrive? Life is so much better when we learn how to embrace it, hold by the wheel, and enjoy that excitement. Number 12, our last point for today. Connection is a foundation for a better society. If we want to fix what's broken in our world, the division, the polarization, the loneliness, we must begin by reconnecting with each other. Connection fosters empathy, and empathy inspires action. A more connected society is a more compassionate one, where understanding replaces judgment and collaboration replaces competition. Remember, we talked about this before. We have empathy and we have compassion. Most strangers will demonstrate empathy just to be polite. They'll kind of put themselves in your shoes, but they won't really risk themselves to take a step to help you or get you to take a step to help you. They just are strangers, or they're just people like, they just don't want to get like that involved. So they stay on the compassionate front because they can show you that they have some sympathy for you and understand, but they're not looking to really get you to change, and they're not looking to get themselves to help you to change. So that's the real important thing. And I think these are very important lessons, actually points. What I want to do now, I should say, I'm rushing the gun here, is I want to do what I do after the middle of the show here, and I do something pretty cool. I'm going to give you some personal stories and lessons, basically one for each point. And my reason for doing this is that I hope it will solidify, it will get you to take maybe something that's abstract and bring it into the real world. Now, that sounds like something that's kind of crazy, but I got news for you guys. When you embrace that whole spirit, your life can change on a dime. Don't believe me? Just try it. So again, I've got some great examples here that I want to share with you. And again, the reason that I'm doing this is I want you guys to see that, it's not just about talk. These are things that have happened in my own life. And so when we start to appreciate these things and we're able to give, let's say, a meaning to something, because now we understand the situation, that's priceless. And those are the kinds of things that I will say will be empowering, because it's going to bring you and those around you to an entirely different level, operating on a different frequency. All right, number one, beings are wired for connection. When I was a kid, I remember getting lost at a carnival for a few minutes. It was overwhelming. Colors, crowds, and noise. But what I remember most wasn't the fear. It was the relief and the warmth of seeing my mom's face when we found each other again. That hug felt like a life raft. Even as adults, we never outgrow the need to feel seen, held, and safe in someone's presence. This moment reminded me that connection isn't optional. It's our DNA. It's not a weakness to need others. It's the a sense of being human. And I think we need to start embracing that. My second lesson, connection boosts emotional and physical well being. Back in 2018, I was working nonstop, sleeping less than 4 hours a night, and rarely seeing friends. I thought I was being productive, but my, let's say, energy kind of tanked, getting some headaches here and there, weakened immune system, and emotional burnout. A mentor told me to start spending time with people who filled my cup. I began weekly taking lunch walks with a friend, and within a few weeks, I felt alive again. That personal change proved to me that connection is like oxygen. Take a good breath, let out some carbon dioxide. Invisible, but necessary to survive and thrive, right? Just like I took that breath. Take that great breath of oxygen and let out carbon dioxide. That is the magic. Number three, social bonds reduce loneliness. During the pandemic, many of us felt, shall we say, the sting of isolation. But for me, it was the sudden silence after years of in-person events and client meetings. I started hosting short online check-ins with friends, just 20 minutes once a week. That little commitment kept loneliness at bay and reminded me that even virtual bonds carry power. Maybe not as much as the personal ones, in-person ones, but virtual still do have some power. Sometimes the solution to isolation isn't a huge change, but a small, steady act of reaching out. Number four, meaningful relationships build trust and safety. A few years ago, I was part of a business mastermind group. At first, it felt competitive and guarded, like many groups do. But over time, as we began to share our struggles and not just our wins, something shifted. We laughed, got vulnerable, and supported each other through real challenges. That group became a safe harbor. I learned that trust doesn't come from perfection, but from people showing up honestly and consistently. Number five, technology's role in enhancing or hindering connection. I once messaged a friend, "Happy birthday," on social media and thought I had done my part. Later, I found out they were going through a tough time and that message had felt impersonal. That moment changed me. Now I make it a point to call or send a voice message for meaningful moments. Tech can enhance connection if used with intention, but it can also make us lazy if we rely on it to end and replace that genuine feeling and care, which so many of us love to give often. We should keep doing that. Number six, active listening is a key for a deeper connection. At a networking event, I met someone who shared a story about a personal loss. I listened intently, really listened, and I didn't offer advice or solutions. Months later, that person reached out and said, "Hey, John, you were the only one who made me feel heard." That stuck with me for years. In a world full of people waiting to speak, the rarest gift is your full, committed, undivided attention. But so many people want their voice to be heard. That's important. Just listening can make somebody feel so valued, and it doesn't cost you a penny. Number seven, vulnerability strengthens connection. I once gave a keynote speech and for the first time shared a failure story, one I had been ashamed of. Afterward, a man approached me with tears in his eyes and said, "John, thank you for sharing. I thought I was the only one who went through something like that." That day, I realized vulnerability isn't weakness, it's the bridge to connection. We don't connect over our perfection, we connect over our humanity. Let me say that again. We don't connect over our perfection, we connect over our humanity. We don't connect over perfection, we connect over our humanity. Number 8, connection fosters collaboration and, of course, innovation. When I worked on a team project a while back, we were stuck creatively until we paused to simply talk, laugh, and get to know one another. That human bond unlocks something magical, new ideas, and deeper trust. The best innovation doesn't come from isolated geniuses, but from collaborative, connected minds. The more connected the team, the more powerful the outcome. Number 9, disconnection impact on mental health. I remember speaking with a client who seemed off. He later admitted he hadn't spoken to anyone, truly spoken, in weeks. He was spiraling into depression. We started weekly 15-minute phone calls, just having someone to check in with him and something to help him anchor his life. Disconnection can be silent and deadly. It can often lead to suicide or death. But the solution is within reach. A voice, a call, a video chat, a simple "how are you?" Now, not something like rote, but something that is going to be truly from the heart. Number 10, building intentional connections in daily life. There's a local barista I used to see every morning. I started making a point to greet him by his name and ask him how his day was. Over time, we became friends. It wasn't forced, just consistent, intentional kindness. Relationships don't require grand gestures. They grow through the small, repeated actions and acts that we take daily. Because you know what that is? You matter. Number 11, the role of community in personal growth. When I started a mastermind community a while back, I thought I was creating it for others, but I ended up growing the most. I found accountability, encouragement, and mirrors who helped me see blind spots. Community is a mirror and a ladder. It helps you see yourself and rise way beyond your limits. Surround yourself with great people who call you higher. Number 17, connection as a foundation. I once volunteered at a local soup kitchen. At first, I thought I was there to serve food. But as I sat and listened to the guests, I realized I was there to connect. Those conversations were so powerful. One man told me, "What I miss most isn't money. It's people looking me in the eye." Connection can heal what policies can't. It starts one conversation at a time. What are you waiting for, guys? Start making your connection and letting people feel valued and loved in this world. I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. You check out believemeachieve.com. I'll catch you real soon, everyone.